Okay, so at the bottom of your crock pot, you want to put about 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, 4 chicken bouillon cubes, and your diced onions. Next, you want to pour in 1 container, which is about 32 ounces of chicken broth. Next, you want to take some chicken breasts. I have chicken tenderloins because they're easier to chop up later. So I have about 1.5 pounds of chicken that I've added to this mixture. I'm going to go ahead and cover this while I chop up the rest of my veggies. Your crock pot is going to be set on low, and you want to have it on low for 8 to 10 hours. So this is going to be cooking while we sleep tonight. We're going to get ready and wash and peel our carrots, and then wash and chop our celery, and then have these 2 added as our additional veggies to our chicken noodle soup. So here we go. So we just added our carrots. We're going to give it a nice quick little spin, and then we're going to go ahead and get our celery cut too. And get that added as well. And then we're going to add some seasonings. And I will be sure to let you all know what seasonings I'm going to use today. So just added our celery. We're going to get that mixed in pretty well with our garlic, our chicken, our carrots, and our onions, and our bouillon cubes and chicken broth. So those are in there. And now I'm going to tell you all what seasonings we're going to use for this recipe. So we're going to go ahead and start adding our seasoning. I have some garlic salt. Get that in there. You want to put a nice generous amount in. We have some black pepper we're going to add as well. Nice generous amount. I don't know. I've never really done like the whole teaspoon, tablespoon type of deal when it comes to seasoning certain things. Like when it comes to bacon, I know you have to be precise, but when you cook, you kind of just gotta feel it with your heart when you cook. So I kind of sprinkle it in. I do layered seasoning too. That was onion powder and garlic powder. Now I have some dried thyme that I'm going to add in here as well. I might have to take the container off, the lid off of this, and do this because it's going to come out really slow. It's just going to bother me. So once all seasonings are in, you want to go ahead and give it another good turn. Now, I've seen some people use like the Lipton onion soup mixes. I'm not a fan of those. That's why I use both the chicken stock and the bouillon cubes. That'll kind of give you your slow cooked soup taste. I've also seen people use like old bacon grease and different things like that. I don't do any of that. The chicken broth, the bouillon cubes, and then the additional seasonings will be plenty for this recipe. As you can see, I put a lot of different things in there. And once it cooks in the morning, I'll check it, I'll taste it. And if it's not to my satisfaction, then at that time, I will add the additional. Now, this is all that goes in the crock pot right now. Tomorrow morning, right before I head out, I'm going to drop the noodles in. Those need to be in the crock pot for 30 minutes. So while I'm getting dressed, I'll put the noodles in. Now for this particular recipe, I'm going to use these gluten-free organic brown rice and quinoa fusilli pasta. I've had them before and I absolutely love them. They're from Aldi's. Had a good conversation about Aldi's and their products. And I love them. So you can see that they're cholesterol-free, egg-free, nut-free, soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, sodium-free, and also wheat-free. So everything you could possibly imagine right here in this pasta is probably one of the better pure options, and it doesn't take that long to cook as well. So we'll see how it does in the crock pot tomorrow morning. So getting ready to check the soup. We have let it cook overnight. We're going to take the chicken breasts out and we are going to slice them and get them added, and then go ahead and add our fusilli noodles so they can finish cooking as well with the actual soup. But this looks good so far. So while I'm cutting the chicken, I'm going to go ahead and add my noodles in here. And I'm going to get them all nicely stirred in. I'm going to close the lid. And I'm going to cut my chicken while I'm waiting. Let these noodles get soft and everything, because they need to be nice and soft before we get going. So I went ahead and added the chicken back in. I'm going to stir it in, and I'm going to wait for the pasta to cook. So I will come back and check on this before I head out the door today. So we just took the lid off. Our noodles are nice and cooked. We have chicken. We have our carrots. We have our celery. We have our onions. We have our garlic pieces. This looks really good and hearty. So our chicken noodle soup is complete. And it'll be nice and chunky when we eat it later today.